I'm Kris Hagan. For those who don't know, I've been a language coach for many years. In my career, I've taught a wide variety of people, from famous singers and radio presenters to doctors, uni students, and yes, even desperate housewives trying to find an English lover. I've finally decided to share my thoughts, tips and tricks with the world. Also check out my YouTube channel if you want to see my ugly mush. So let's kick off this podcast with a great jingle.
Doesn't matter where you are, in the car or at the bar. Here for you comes in your ears, another word for thanks is cheers. Here's the new kid from the block, here for you around the clock, sharing all his English tips. Kris
is an anagram of risk.
Kris.
Hello and welcome to this podcast. I've decided I want one of them chairs that spin around because it'd be nice and dramatic if when I say hello I spin around. I need to go to IKEA. I've just got back from Venice. If you saw on my YouTube channel yesterday, I published a video about International Music Day, which I celebrated with some friends in Venice. What is International Music Day? Well, it's the day where people are asked or invited to sing and perform around the world. So in the streets, in front of their houses, wherever they are, they should play music. But the problem is, in Italy at the minute, you can't do that. And so two of my friends in Venice decided to do a little protest, which you can find in the video on YouTube. Go and have a look. Now, I want to tell you a nice little story about Venice. When I took one of my relatives, I will not tell you which one because then they will know who they are, to the wonderful floating city, which apparently is sinking. In fact, when you look around, the floors do not look that level anymore. When I took one of my relatives, they saw all these bags and all these wonderful designer things in the street. And they said to me, "Oh, this is where the wonderful designer Vera Pelli comes from." But Vera Pelli means real leather. She actually thought it was a designer, bless her. Now, if you're listening to this podcast not that far from Venice and you can actually drive there, go there now. It's amazing. The streets are half empty. And as well, there's not many English people around. So if you want an experience which is more Italian for once, go now. Probably the only benefit of this period. Did you hear what I just said? I said, there's not many. There is not many people. The Mancunian in me coming out. Obviously, that is grammatically wrong, but you knew that already. I hope.
Say it right.
Now, as I'm sure you all saw, the protest that Sylvia and Giovanna were doing is called sold mouths. Now, she could actually say it, just one time she said it wrong, and so we decided to do the little funny clip that you can see in the video on YouTube. But so is one of these words which confuses people. They think, why is it spelled S-E-W but pronounced so? Well, it's just, that's the way it is. And I think it's actually the only word in English which finishes with E-W, where the pronunciation is O. Now, to sew, S-E-W, means to stitch something, to close something with stitches. Like when you have an accident, you go to the doctor and they have to give you stitches, they sew your skin together. Now, sow, S-O-W, also exists, but this is when you plant something. When you put seeds into the ground, you sow the seeds. So, sow and sow, so and so. I said three sows, three different sows in the same sentence. Now I'm confused. So, sow and sow have two totally different meanings, but the pronunciation is the same. But obviously the spelling is different. S-E-W is to sow with stitches, S-O-W is to sow with seeds. Let's have a look at the past tense of these words. Let's start with to sew, the one from the video of the protest in Venice, sold mouths. So, what's the past tense of sow? Sow, S-E-W? Do you know? Well, the past tense of sow, S-E-W, is sown, S-E-W-N, and the participle is sowed, S-E-W-E-D. And you'll be happy to know that the past tense of to sow, with seeds, the pronunciation stays the same, but the spelling stays with the O. So, sow, sown, sowed. So, the pronunciation stays exactly the same. The only difference is sown in the past tense, E when you're talking about stitching, O when you're talking about seeds, and the same with sowed. E when you're talking about stitches, and O when you're talking about seeds. But if you're speaking, who cares about the spelling? Nobody knows. As long as you understand that when your friend tells you he had an accident and fainted in the hospital, like I did, and then had to have his chin sewn up, he doesn't mean the doctor planted seeds in his chin. Even if a man walking around with flowers growing out of his chin is a lot nicer than some of the beards you see these days. Or flavour savers. They always remind me of the book The Twit by Roald Dahl. Have you read it? I read it when I was a kid at school. What's that sound? Oh, it means Kelly's back. G'day, Kelly. Coming to you live from Australia. She's not really, she's here with me. That music really gets you in the mood for Australia, don't you think? So now it's time for part 2 of the questions with our token Australian Kelly. The first question is from Marco, who's Italian and lives in London, who is the founder of B Comedy UK. If you don't know who they are, go and check out our free magazine online, Cirque Magazine, totally free. Go and download the PDF so you can read the interview with them. So let's go over to his question. Marco.
Is it true that all the koalas have chlamydia?
Sounds like we just woke him up or got him out of bed. Is it true all koalas? Is it true all koalas have chlamydia? I understood. Is it true all Kamalias? Thinking every girl called Kamalia has chlamydia. I have a friend called Kamalia. I don't think she has chlamydia. I need to ask her.
Okay, I think that this is a concept that became very popular around the time that Justin Bieber visited Australia.
I've got visions of Justin Bieber having sex with a koala.
That's it.
That's
in fact, it was
awful.
all over the tabloids, and it was like, Justin Bieber got chlamydia in Australia.
From a koala.
And from then onwards, everyone was like, do koalas have chlamydia? Can I catch
No,
chlamydia?
just Justin Bieber had it, probably.
It's just this
Hello,
scapegoat.
Justin.
He was holding a koala and it peed on him. And then he had to get tested for chlamydia. And it was all over the news. They were saying, Justin Bieber has caught chlamydia in Australia from a koala. Okay, and so there were a lot more questions about catching chlamydia from koalas. The answer is that I really don't know. Maybe they do.
Or maybe
They
Justin
never
Bieber
tell
just
us
had
about
chlamydia and wanted to pretend he got it from a koala.
Exactly, could have been a scapegoat.
Uh-huh.
Who knows?
This next question is from Alessandro in Rome.
So, when I went to Australia, they told me they used to check inside their shoes for snakes or spiders. Is this true?
Yes, so again, if you live in Sydney or Melbourne, no, you won't do it.
So this is why you don't wear shoes.
It's true, it's a risk.
Now we've understood.
No, but living in Brisbane, which is in the north, well, it's central north of Australia, we did used to check everything for spiders, essentially. Not necessarily snakes, but spiders. We have something called a redback spider, and it's a very dangerous spider.
Does it have a
lives around the
red back?
house. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it almost looks like the shape of Australia.
Ah,
The little
nice.
little red mark on its back. Yes, but they live around the house. They love to live in people's houses, and especially around outside areas. So when you leave your shoes at the door, you have to make sure that they don't go inside. So yes, the general rule is to pick up your shoes, flip them upside down, and to bang them against the wall, and then to put them on.
Not against your wife, against the wall.
And sometimes you would forget to do it. You'd put on your shoes and you think, oh God, I hope this wasn't the day that
It's too
a
late.
spider's gone in.
So here is the second question from Alessandro. He sent 2 as well.
Hi, I would like to know a real cliche about South Africa and Australia. Thank you.
So cliches about South Africa
And Australia.
and Australia.
Okay, I can think of a funny cliche that combines the two. Basically,
okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Kill 2 birds with one stone.
the cliche of the South Africans that migrated to Australia was that they're filthy rich. This is the
Like you.
stereotype that they have.
No, you wouldn't be working for me if you were.
No, of course not. But they have this concept that all the people who came from South Africa and came to Australia are like these very rich people that live all in their own communities with massive houses.
And it's not true.
Well, to be honest, it has a bit of truth in it, in the sense that a lot of people who moved over were ones who could afford it. And because you're coming from a very underdeveloped country to quite a developed one, because of the exchange rate, I mean, you had to have a lot of money in order to make it to Australia. But, I mean, it's not, of course, not always true. Yes, and so when you say you're from South Africa and you live in Australia, the Australians go, oh, okay, you're one of those.
You're one of those. You're rich. Okay, next question. Care from South Korea.
Hi, this is Kris from Yeongju, South Korea. Which are the best unknown places to visit in Australia and South Africa?
Okay, so the best unknown places to visit in South Africa and Australia.
Okay, so to be honest, with South Africa, I'm not too sure where the best unknown places would be. I would probably say, of course, the game parks, which are also called the safaris, are always a really good option. I would suggest, if you can, not to just visit the game park, the safari
Because everybody
reserves.
does it normally.
Yeah, well, not just visit it for the day, but try and find accommodation in the game park.
Oh, okay.
So you can usually find accommodation. You can rent out, I don't know, a little house or something on the land. I would recommend that because when you do that, maybe you can hear the noises of the animals at nighttime.
So you're more immersed in it rather than just
Yeah.
going around in a truck. For
Exactly, yeah. And so early morning, late at night, that's when you start to hear the noise of the animals. And also you can take the car maybe at nighttime and see something different.
You can wake up next to a giraffe.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Or maybe a lion. Maybe some hyenas.
Someone you picked up at the bar.
So I would recommend that for South Africa. It's not really a hidden place, but it's just a recommendation. As for Australia, well, there are a lot of places. I guess it depends what you want to see. If you want to see a lot of wildlife, definitely go to the north of Australia. As I said, everything's a lot more wild there.
Where they have no shoes.
So yeah, no shoes. You don't have to bring any shoes with you, so you can save the luggage space.
Uh-huh.
And there you're more likely to see, like, I don't know, some crazy pythons or some crocodiles, saltwater crocodiles, sharks. Otherwise, an unknown place. Well, I'd have to say where I used to live was quite beautiful. The Sunshine Coast, which is near Brisbane, but a bit more north, maybe 2 hours
But
north.
Brisbane is on the east coast, you said.
Yeah, exactly, on the East Coast. There, it's not as touristic as the Gold Coast, for example, which is a lot more commercial. Instead, it's very laid back. There are a lot of beautiful beaches. It's not so expensive. You've also got the inland area, which is really beautiful. There are some nice mountains. They're called the Glasshouse Mountains. They're really nice. And there's also another mountain called Mount Pomona. So while you can climb the mountain, you've got a beautiful view of like a beautiful area. So I would recommend that. Also Stradbroke Island, which is a little island just off the coast of Brisbane. So if you find yourself in Brisbane, it's worth the day trip or maybe the weekend. Basically, you go from the city a little bit out of the city, and then you catch a ferry over to an island, and it's really beautiful there. A ferry.
This is staying in the podcast. I understood a ferry. You have to catch a ferry.
Yeah, ferry. It's called a ferry. This is what we call the boat that takes you from.
I mean a ferry.
Yeah.
Oh,
a
okay,
ferry.
God, your accent's straight.
Okay.
Imagine going across on a ferry. Poor Tinkerbell. God. So go on the ferry, you go where?
Yeah, you catch the ferry. It's only in about maybe less than an hour, and then you're on an island. It's really, really beautiful, really natural. You have kangaroos there.
And can you stay there as well?
Yeah, you can stay there. You can go camping there. You can stay in a cabin, or you can rent out a house or an Airbnb. And it's really beautiful. A lot of different beaches. You have a bus system there. It's really nice. I have to say there's a bus system because there's not always a bus system in Australia. It is a nice place. It really is. It's really nice.
Next two questions.
Hi, I'm Laura Gifford from Nashville, Tennessee, and I met Kris over Frico.
It's true. Go and check it out online. Frico. It's delicious.
And I'm wondering, do you like Vegemite?
A very serious question from Laura there. And the second one is?
In the US, we've only heard a few Australian exports, but being from Nashville, I'd like to know who locals think are the greatest Australian bands.
All right. Vegemite. It's delicious. It's so good. No one will agree with me.
But is it the same as Marmite?
Yeah, it's the same.
It's
almost
rank.
the same.
It's the most disgusting thing ever.
So good. But you have to get the ratio right. That's the secret. You have to have like the
I ain't
good
got time
portion.
to get ratios right.
You have to get the good portion of butter versus Vegemite. And
you mix it
it's the
together?
best. Yeah, of course. You have to. You can't have it alone. That's the secret. No, so you have to get the ratio right. If you do, it's fantastic. It's super good. So yes, I love Vegemite. And in fact, I always bring it with me when I go abroad.
And you don't get arrested at the airport.
No.
That's not something
Don't
you
take
could
it
blow
away.
up a bank with. It doesn't look. But is it different from Marmite?
No, it's not very different. In fact, I always grew up with it because in South Africa we have Marmite.
Right.
So when
And it's identical, just a different
it's
name.
very, very similar. Yeah, it's very similar. You won't notice the difference.
Both as disgusting as each other.
Yeah, so I grew up eating Marmite, but then I switched to Vegemite at some point in my life and didn't go back.
And you didn't know the difference probably if it was the same thing. And the second question she said was about the biggest
the
export,
bands.
the bands. Go on.
Okay. So speaking about bands, we have a really interesting and unique taste in music. It's a bit different from
As opposed to Vegemite.
Yeah, well, our music it's similar to kind of maybe American beachy style music, I would say. We're really well known at the moment for Tame Impala. This is
Never
an
heard of
Australian band. You've never heard of Tame Impala?
Tame, like taming an animal.
Yeah, like tame, which means is the opposite of, I don't know, savage. Or,
Okay.
Yeah, tame.
Impala?
Impala, which is...
Impala.
Impala, yeah, which is an animal in South Africa or Africa in general. It's like a deer kind of thing. Yeah, and it's really nice. It's kind of like a psychedelic beach music. It's really good.
Do you think I'd like it since I like
Yeah,
K-pop?
I think you would. It's obviously not K-pop, but it's really likable
Why
music.
does everybody laugh at K-pop? What's so wrong with K-pop?
Well, I think the good thing about Tame Impala is it sets a scene. So if you're going out, if you're in a good mood and you just want to listen to music while you're at the gym or you're taking a walk, it's really, it like sets a good mood.
There's
good
two things
vibe.
wrong with that. In a good mood and going to the gym for me. The gym for me is the stairs in the house. It's enough. So you'll let me listen to these later. And
Yeah, you
another
must.
one?
And another one would probably be Angus and Julia Stone. They're a bit old now because they're not really producing more music, but they have
Old as in what? Because you're young. So go
No,
on.
I would say
Offend
no
me
more
now.
than 10 years, no more than 5 years.
But how old are they?
They're quite young. They're
Oh,
young.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You
It's still
saved
modern,
yourself
but I
there.
mean, they're not. Well, Angus and Julia Stone, they're beautiful, a beautiful group. They had one song called Big Jet Plane, which was international. It was very well
The
known.
title sounds familiar. in
Yeah,
fact.
you'll know it, definitely. But they have a lot of other songs that are really nice. They recently released one called Chalet, which was really nice, or Snow. I'd recommend them. They're really nice.
And these both bands are from Australia.
Yeah, they're both Australian bands.
Okay, and let's go to the last and most serious question. It's from Janitz in Ljubljana.
Hello, Kelly. Hello, Kris. I like wines, and I was wondering which wine, when you get drunk, gives you a bigger headache? The one from Australia or the one from South Africa?
Very serious.
All right. I would have to say the one from Australia. Just because we have a lot of really cheap wine.
Not surprised.
And that's because we have really high taxes on wine. So if you buy a wine for, let's say a bottle of wine for €5
Only?
in Australia, probably the cost of production would have to be about, I don't know, 50 cents in order for them to charge such a low price, because the rest would be taxes. So even if you pay €5, the wine that you get is probably really, really low quality. Obviously not all Australian wines, but the really cheap ones you get are a little bit crazy. For example, we have one that comes in a big box, and it's kind of like a big ball. It's not actually even in a bottle. And this wine actually says it contains traces of eggshells and fish.
Wow.
So the quality is really questionable. And once you've had some of that, especially when you're young and you don't want to spend a lot of money on wine, a lot of people drink this kind of wine and the next day you want to die.
Not
It's
surprised.
really, really, really bad. Otherwise, in South Africa, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I definitely have more experience with Australian wines.
Because if you spend more time in Australia, I'm sure you've been drunk more times in Australia than in South Africa, unless your parents were giving you alcohol until the age of 5, which I doubt. So thank you, Kelly, for answering these questions. I hope you're all more well-educated now on Australia. And I'll see you all next week. Jingle! I need to go buy my spinning chair now.
Doesn't matter where you are, in the car or at the bar. Here for you comes in your ears, another word for thanks is cheers. Here's the new kid from the block, here for you around the clock. Shining on his English lips, Kris
Is an anagram of risk.